if you feel not good enough, it's probably because you're telling yourself that you're not good enough. And you can change that. Once you notice it in little, like, become so aware of your thoughts, and know that is easier said than done. It's like we don't notice it, but that is a habit to build. It is a habit to build and perfect. To notice that you're calling yourself this and that. We do get caught up in our thoughts, like we do. We have like an awesome brain, yet we use it to be negative. Hey guys, and welcome to this week's episode of the Crystalline Podcast. I'm your host, Clarke. This is a podcast all about self-love, personal growth, and self-worth. Welcome. So this episode, we're going to talk about positive affirmations, and I'm super ill, so sorry about all this grossness that you hear in my voice, but I'm here, I'm committed, and yeah, we're going to talk about positive affirmations, because last episode we spoke about like the winter blues and how that can really get you down. And we don't want that. We want to have like a really good winter, a really good autumn that's coming up. We want to celebrate the pumpkin spice and go out with our friends and just put on our like wool jumpers. I am literally knitting at the minute. Well, I loom, which is weird, but it's better on your hands. So I am looming a jumper with my friend. I just had to send her, like, she was like, what wool do you use for like the pattern? I'm like, well, I don't know. I just bought some cute little oatmeal, like, you know, wool yesterday, and yeah, we're gonna knit that jumper, and I think there's gonna probably be like a blog post about it, so stay tuned for that. If you really care. Like, I know you don't. But we're just gonna get right into it. Okay, sorry about that. So I'm currently releasing a course on Skillshare about all this and how like you can overcome like negative thinking patterns with cognitive behavior techniques, and I do go into that. So if you guys are on Skillshare, like if you got the membership, like go look it up. I'll link it, and it will also be in my newsletter. So guys, sign up to my newsletter if you want to know anything more, like go more into depth about things, about the podcast, and like how to like overcome any issues, worries. So it's all about building self-esteem and confidence. And yeah, so it's there for you guys if you're on Skillshare. If not, there's like an Udemy like course gonna be up, so hopefully, yeah, so you guys can go buy that one off if you guys want that. But we're talking about positive affirmations, so it's all about like rewiring your brain, just taking it from the negative into the positive. And like that's easier said than done. Like it's like, okay, cool, right, that's how you do it. It's like, great, I can go home, that's all folks. It's like, yeah, no, that's not gonna be it. So it's a habit that takes time. It's really a habit that takes time. It's a habit to build. It's also a habit to notice. First thing is like to notice your thoughts, become aware of them. I do talk about this in the course of like awareness and like change, and then it's like, and then taking the action to rewire them. It's kind of like simple. It's simple, but it's hard because it's like noticing the habit. So okay, first I've got this negative thought, and you guys, you won't believe how much you do that, like how easy it is to spiral in these negative thoughts and how easy it's not to notice them. So it can do anything. Like I remember before I was actually recording the course and I spoke about it in the course, I was like what was it? I had everything set up on my desk and I spilt some tea because there was just like no room, obviously because I'm British. It was, yeah, okay. And it was like peppermint tea, but fine, sure. I like nudged it on something and like the tea went on my laptop and on like my equipment, and I was like, oh my gosh, no. So I was like, but the thing is, though, I called myself a pleb. Like, that's probably a British, like, a curse word or, like, you know, naughty word or something to call someone. I was like, oh, you pleb. But I was like, why did I blame myself? Because it wasn't me, it was like the equipment in the way. That's it. Like, deny your responsibility or accountability, someone, just blame it on someone else. No, but it literally was the fact that there was so much stuff on my desk and my tea, my darling tea. I actually think I had a teapot. Yeah, I did. Hilarious. I actually had a teapot because I split like a bag. Like, because, okay, British tea time talk, right? With some tea bags, you get like a string attached, and like the string was super glued onto the tea bag, and when I pulled it off, it like ripped. So I was like, okay, opportunity to use my teapot. And yeah, and that's probably why it's spilled. But I blamed myself. I was like, why am I blaming myself for this? As a long-winded example for you guys. But, you know, it wasn't me, and it's like, why did I treat myself like that? But the thing is that I noticed I called myself a pleb. I noticed that. And this is where it takes time to build that habit, to notice the thoughts. I'm like expert level, obviously. No, I'm not. But it does. Everyone's different. And it might not actually be something that you're aware of. So building that awareness, first of all, is key to change. Because if you notice there's something wrong, it's like, if you don't notice there's something, if you're in denial, it's obviously you're not going to change if, you know, you don't notice it. It's like, come on, guys. Come on. So take time for yourself. I think the first place to start is doing the change now. Because if you notice how you're feeling, if you notice that you're feeling a bit, you know, not good enough, just a bit not good enough, that's how I feel. If you feel not good enough, it's probably because you're telling yourself that you're not good enough. And you can change that. Once you notice it in little, like, become so aware of your thoughts, and know that is easier said than done. It's like we don't notice it, but that is a habit to build. It is a habit to build and perfect. To notice that you're calling yourself this and that. We do get caught up in our thoughts, like we do. We have like an awesome brain, yet we use it to be negative. And it's like, why? And I always think it's to do with the survival thing, like anxieties. Like, I'm not like sure about this, but this is what I heard or read about, how we are kind of, because, you know, like our evolution, we've been hunters and we've been, you know, savages. No, we've been hunters, and now we don't have that. We don't have to, like, that's not correct to say woolly mammoth, because I don't think they were on the, like, cavemen and woolly mammoths were here at the same time. I think that's like a myth, like ostriches put their head in the water, their head in the ground to hide. I don't think that's a myth. And I know there was a 20-year study on ostriches and none of them put their head in the ground. It's so funny. That's like an old school cartoon thing. Okay, but what was I saying? Oh no, the myths. I've lost track. So yeah, cavemen and mammoths. But anyway, but because we don't hunt anymore, because we don't, I can't state that fact about the cavemen, because I'm now thinking about Ice Age. I'm like, what? No. Okay, so we used to be hunters, and now we're not really hunters. All we have to do is go to the supermarket and buy a chicken if you want to buy a chicken. We don't have to run after it and do unspeakable things. I'm a vegetarian, so I don't see that. And now, for some odd reason, I'm a celiac. So huzzah, yay, diet change. Now I have to be like super healthy to avoid wheat. Yay. And yeah, so, but we have this like residual thought pattern, and we have these residual like, I actually don't know. I feel like I should have fact checked before this, but you guys, this isn't scripted. But I know from what I've read, basically, we basically have anxiety because we don't know how to get rid of that anxiety, because it's a survival thing. We've had to survive so many years, and now it's like, okay, we don't have to survive, and now we're like we could become really anxious because it's like we're not, is the word expressing, like that, we don't have it, we don't have to, was it outlet, like that rage of hunting, so we have it, like, it's like, it makes sense. I have to find an article, oh my goodness. I guess if you read my blog post, because this will be in blog post form, it will make sense. I'm a better writer than I am talking. So yeah, so it's a habit we have to build, rewiring those thoughts. We're left with that residual, like, anxiety because we're not making good use of it. So I feel like and this is another thing I've read, that we look for the wrong. That's part of survival. We look for the trouble in things because that's the way we're wired, and it's so easy to get caught up in it. And that's why I think I've read this, that I can't actually I've got to put a disclaimer, but that we look for the negative because that's our survival instinct, and that's why the news is so negative. So that makes us draw into it, and that makes us and that's why the news is so negative, and that makes us obsessed with it, because we can become obsessed with the negative. And that's why dramas are so dramatic, because we're looking for that survival. That's part of that's wired into our brain, and that's why we can become so obsessed with it. And if you've evolved like me and hate it, I hate the news, I only read the local news because that's more positive, and it's just what's going on in my area. It's I don't really need to know anything else really, and it's always positive. It's oh, there's a chess club, or this little 5-year-old won a football trophy. It's really positive and really nice. It's nothing ever negative, so I never read the big news or anything, which I'm not sure is bad. I could wake up one day and it could be that scene from Shaun of the Dead, where he's going to go get a newspaper, and I don't even know, because there's not a newspaper because I don't read it, and he goes to the shop or something, he gets cornetto or something, and he doesn't even know that there's zombies around him. That could be me. So it also is I think it's a Buddhist proverb that I also love, where it's is it see no evil, hear no evil. I put think no evil and speak no evil. So see no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil. And that's kind of a refreshing, I think, what's it called, a proverb, a mantra that they really believe in, because, and you can see it in, I saw one that was an owl one, and I was oh my gosh, I love owls and I should buy that. There's a tawny owl in a tree next to my apartment, and I'm you can hear it, I used to hear it when I used to come back at midnight or something, and it used to be doo doo, and I'm oh my gosh, I love birds. Anyway, so what was I saying? So the see no evil, hear no evil, think no evil. I put think no evil because you can think evil. You can think evil about others and yourself. So it's kind of bad advice to say avoid it. And one day they'll be I don't want to say no, I can't say that because it's offensive, but it's there could be a world catastrophe and I wouldn't even know. I'm completely naive to it, and no, that's so silly. But I would rather we only really see the world I really hate it when people say that you're living in a dream world. It's like, no, because actually we see the world in different perspectives. Nobody sees the world the same way. Everyone sees it differently. And it really annoys me that people have the darn audacity to say, oh, you're living in a dream world, or like, they crush someone else's dreams because they don't understand that other person's point of view. And I've had some people say this to me, even a family member, and I'm like, what? It's like, no, you just don't understand. And that's fine, because you won't, because I've seen your lifestyle and I see where you're going, and that's not the way I'm going. And you shouldn't let other people tell you this. I swear to God. I swear to God. No, don't. And I've also said, some guy said this to me as well, and I was like, you're done, because red flag, glittering, shining in the sunlight, no thank you, no. The audacity, they shouldn't, if a guy says that to you, it's like, no, they should be like supportive of you. They shouldn't be saying stuff like that to like belittle you, and it is intrusive. So if you think a certain way, what do they call it? Is it a polyan? So I don't know. But it's like, be positive. Okay, that's the end of this podcast. Okay, bye. No, be positive. Be who you want to be. Don't let anyone take you down. Don't let this environment take you down. It's really hard sometimes. Like, I was watching Harry Potter last night, and I was like, I totally get Dementors. I totally get it, JK, because depression does suck the life out of you. Like, the Dementors, like, I get it. Like, when I was depressed, I'm not depressed anymore, and I don't know what I've done to, get out of that. I think morning runs are the way to go. Like, I've started morning running for like 10 minutes or something, and I said I'm gonna do this every morning to focus. 6 a.m. I don't know why. I know why, actually, because no one's around. No one can see me run like an idiot. It's fine. And small steps are, it's a habit. Again, it's a habit to building habits. It's like, I know I'm starting small, and you should start small with these habits. In rewiring your thinking to become positive. So I'm starting small. I remember I achieved so high because I'm a bit of an overachiever, and like, I sometimes say I'm a burnt out overachiever, and it really annoys me. And again, that kind of comes down to your foundations, getting everything set for you to achieve what you want to achieve, and that's like things like having a good diet and exercising and stuff like that. You have to get those down in order to have the energy to do things. Like, it's like a step up thing. No, not Step Up, not the dance movie, no. But like, I said, okay, I'm gonna run all this route when I was like 6 a.m. I was like, I'm gonna do it, and then I started running, and then I was like, okay, so I'm just gonna run around this small block, it's fine. It's like, yeah, that's about it for me, okay. And that'll do, donkey, that'll do. And that's totally okay, because it's going to be a habit. It's like, you have to start small to achieve, you have to, everyone started somewhere, okay? Like, everyone's been a rookie, like, everyone's like every actor, I swear, who's famous in Hollywood right now has like, they've been a waitress or waiter. They've all had, like, not knocking on waitresses and waitresses, but, can't knock on that, that's bad. But they've all done jobs that, everyone else has done. Everyone else is, they've started small in places and then built their way up. And that's okay for you with habits to build. They do take time. And, like, if you guys want a habit tracker, I think I have one somewhere. Yeah. Okay. And, yeah. and like goal trackers. I think there is going to be, they are on my website, I think, and they will be, yeah, I'll put them on my website if you guys like look at the blog post for this. And what's the other thing? Look at the blog post, and maybe even if you sign up to my newsletter, who knows? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, let's set a habit tracker, or you can set one yourself. Like, that's so easy. Just, it's so easy. But if you want like something cute and aesthetic, yeah, probably on my website. But you can just write, like I've done this on my wall, just like, okay, habit, write down the habits that you want to do, and just write like the MTW, like T again, FSS for the week. Draw some lines in it, and just tick it if you've done it. It's so simple. You can find apps for things, but if you really want to rewire your thoughts and try and make them positive, it's like journaling is a great way to go. I am so like, excuse me, Alexa, I'm so like I need to put my journal up, guys, for you guys. It has all this in there, but you can just get like a notepad and then write down your thoughts and become aware of them. In my course, I actually do have so it's changing the way you think. So there's a book called Overcoming Low Self-Esteem. It's in the 2nd edition. It's by Melaine Fennell. Love this book, guys. These are the kind of books that I'm gonna write and have written, and I need to get it out. So sign up to my newsletter, it'll be there. No. So there's a sheet in here. I'll actually link it down below for you guys because it's essential. I mean, you can go and, like I said, look at the Skillshare course, like the course that I have, because it's also in there and explain how it works. But I'm just going to explain it right here now for you guys. Juicy bit of gossip. No, I'm kidding. Okay, so questioning self-critical thoughts. So again, write some lines down. So just write, is it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 columns, and start off date and time. Just write these down. Get a little notebook. Go buy a tiny little, like a, what was it, 6 notebook? I don't know. And write down the time, the situation, the emotions and body sensations that you feel, because your thoughts are linked to your emotions. So you can rate your emotions and body sensations, like how you feel. So like what you feel in your body. And you can rate it from 0 to 100 if you want to, or just keep track of like your thoughts. And then it's like, your body sensations. And then you can write self-critical thoughts in the next column. Yep. And then you can rate your belief in them from 0 to 100%. Because sometimes, they might not be true. Like what you're thinking and what is actual reality. Like our thoughts do, I think they spur from our ego sometimes. Yeah, our thoughts, our feelings, our intuition and our ego. Sometimes our ego speaks to us, and this happened with me, like with a guy I really liked, and my ego was like, he's cheating on you, and I was like, my intuition was like, he's not. Shut up, ego. But like from like our history, there was like an issue that spurred up, and my ego was like, he's cheating on you. It's like, my friend didn't help, and she refused to take accountability for this when I said, like, yeah, I think I've spoken about this before when I've said what is it? Oh yeah, she was like, is he sick? And I'm like, yeah, because the things he did to me, he's definitely sick. So yeah, so don't like let your, so that was ego, and intuition. So my ego was flaring up the thought that, you know, he was talking to someone else, he wasn't interested in me anymore, and that did stem from an incident that happened in the past. Like, I never thought like that until, like, this incident happened. Basically a lie happened. Gosh, what a shiny red glittery flag there. Oh, lovely. So once you've wrote down your self-critical thoughts, you can also write down in the next column alternative perspectives. So, and you can also, this, like, it, I do explain it in my Skillshare course, so please, like, look that up. They've taken it down at the minute because there's, like, something, I don't know, I'll sort it out today, something to do with my project, and I'm like, ugh. Well, the project's, like, super personal. So once you write down the alternative perspectives, so there are so many that you can have from a situation and how you're feeling and your thoughts. Oh, it's in my Skillshare course. I don't want to give too much away. So, and then you can write the outcome. So now that you find out your alternatives to your self-critical thoughts, how do you feel? And how strongly do you believe in your critical thoughts? And what can you do now? So it's like creating an action plan. So that's something to think about, like writing down like these things. You can get your journal and just write down those questions. I will link the sheet, the one I used from the book, down below and in the blog post. So yeah, so have a look at that. Have a look at it. It really is a practice though, rewiring self thoughts, like using them as positive affirmations. Like I always say, like the warrior cards, having like, you know, the little presentation cards, like I can't show you because it's audio, but the ones with like lines, I mean you can make them up yourself, sure, cut out some paper, write down the lie on one side and then write down the truth on the other side. So it's like the lie could be like, I think I'm too weird and odd for friends or something like that. And then you can, that's the lie. And then you can write down the truth, like, I bring something wonderful to each friend group because of my unique sense of self. I don't know. Make it up. Like, make it up. Get creative. If you say you're not creative, that's the lie. Right on the other side, it's like, I have opportunities to learn new creative skills and master them. I don't know. It really is up to you what you want to do, but it is a habit. And if you do write a warrior card, put it, you know, in your pocket, take it out with you. You could either write, you know, once you've told yourself the truth, write it on a post-it, put it on the mirror, brush your teeth, look at the freaking thing that you said on the post-it and say that's the truth, and rewire your brain to think differently. So I guess that's it for this podcast, guys. So again, like I said, sign up to my newsletter. I will be posting about my Skillshare courses, maybe even in this. Don't forget to leave a comment on this, guys, if you want to. I really wish I could see like you guys go and get pumpkin spices, because I am doing that with my friend, like, and start knitting because it's mindfulness. Okay, shut up. It's like, don't come at me, because it's so cute. Like, I give off so much grandma energy. Like, this is so much grandma energy I give off. I saw a bag yesterday in like a thrift store, charity shop, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's such a cute bag. And literally in it was like old granny hair rollers, and I was like, oh my god, that is like the ultimate granny thing that I've just looked at, because it had like the flower patterns that grandmas would have, and I'm like, oh my god. And I love flowers anyway. Like, I'm writing a kid's book about flowers. I'm gonna join the horticultural society, but I wish there was a florticultural society, because it's just flowers. I mean, amazing. But no, it doesn't run in my family. My family just specialises in orchids, but Sure, I love dahlias. And my second favorite flower are, I can never remember the name of them. I always call them rhododendrons because I learned it as rhododendrons, and I'm like, that's not rhododendron. Also, magnolias are my third favorite because I think they're cool and you can eat them. What's my inertia? Not inertia. Is it? My brain. Anyway, let's move on from that. But yeah, I really hope you guys got something from this, and go out there, like, write down your thoughts, rewire them. Even if you journal them, journal your thoughts, look at what you've written, review it, and say, like, okay, so is that the truth or is that my ego speaking? And write down the truth. Find the truth, guys. It's all about the truth. Like the sun, the moon, the truth. Like even Harry Potter, where it's like, what was it? As the muggles say, the truth will out. Exactly. Like the truth is always there, and is probably the best option, even if you get in trouble with it. And being honest about things, because most people aren't honest about themselves. And I recently just went through this with myself because I don't feel like I was being honest with myself. And like the universe is like kicking my butt. It's like knocking me. It's ping pong balling me, like one of those ping pong machines. It's putting me where I'm supposed to go. And it's like a rapid river of boring. But it's putting me in the right direction, and I know the right direction that I'm supposed to take. But the thing is that I wasn't telling the truth. Like I was saying all these things, like I was like, oh, I should be a counselor and blah blah blah, and it's like, yeah, I should, like, and like the way I've said that now, it's like struck in my heart. No, it's like struck me. It's like a feeling of like that's wrong, and I'm like, there's so much like. It's just so complicated. It's like that could be in the next podcast episode of like trying to align with your purpose, because if you guys want that, comment. But yeah, so trying to align with your purpose is like a whole other thing. So yay. But I always say, if you're thinking negatively and you're not in the right environment for you, like if you've got anxiety and you don't feel 100% and you don't feel like you can be yourself, you're obviously in the wrong place. And that could be mentally, like environmentally, your habitat. And it's up to you to change it, and you don't have to do anything dramatic. It's normally small steps, and you can be surprised. And this does go with your thoughts as well. But the thing is to be honest. And yeah, I wrote it down on my wonderful trusty whiteboard, the truth and what I actually wanted to do with my life. And it's amazing. And I like totally reconnected with like my inner child and it's like I just wrote on a whiteboard, it's like, who do I want to be? Like, because I'm not having a midlife crisis. I've been there, done that, but it's got to the point where I'm just like, I want it to rain, and I'm like on my knees, like screaming up, like, why God, why? Like, it's like, what do you want me to do? But it's being a ping pong machine, and it's knocking me in the right place. And it's like, I know where I want to go, and I know what I want to do, and I know what I have to do. But I feel like I'm not telling the truth. So guys, just tell the truth, okay? It's less of the fact that I'm not telling the truth, more the fact I'm keeping it a secret than just sending people on fool's errands and stuff. And yeah. So guys, tell the truth. Don't waste your time. Don't waste your energy. Tell the truth. Be who you want to be, and the right things will be, like the right situations, the right things will put themselves in front of you, and you don't have to find yourself, as my Hawaiian friend says, blocked by a coconut tree. If you feel like a coconut tree is in your way, then yeah, it's not the right direction. And I've witnessed a lot of that. Like, I've witnessed a lot of no's, and that's just because there's the right thing out there for you. Okay, so that was a little bit of a sidestep. Wrong direction. But it's important to know, guys. It's important to know. So yeah, I really hope you got something from this like podcast. Please, if you're on Skillshare, like look at it, leave a review, give me a comment, and a good comment, please. And yeah, start to rewire your brain. Like, think positively. I'll give you the sheet, the download sheet. It's not cute. Like, I saw it and I was like, really? Seriously? You're supposed to print this off and use it? Because it's absolutely useless the way it's set up. Not here for it, but guys, like, get the notes, like, get the questions. Just think about, like, your thoughts and if they're really the truth or not. Or if they're your ego, or if like it's just negative, full stop, and how you can actually change it to positive. Like, again, do the truth and the lie thing, and commit yourself for the next however long it takes to change these thoughts, because if they're making you feel bad, they're completely useless to you, because you need to be your best self, your full potential. You don't need thoughts to hold you down, to limit you. You can be the best version of yourself if you want to. It's all up to you. You have the power to do it, okay? So I think finally that's it for this episode of the Crystalline Podcast. Maybe I'll go into a little bit about being honest with yourself, and maybe I'll make a course about it. Who knows? Oh, the potential. But yeah, I hope you guys got something from it. Leave a review. That would be really helpful. And leave a comment. Talk to me. I think I'm gonna create a membership thing on my site, but it's like, who wants that? Who wants to be a member on a site? Oh my god. Only Taylor Swift site. That's about it. That's all I need. Maybe we could start a Patreon. I don't know. Tell me, what do you guys want? Maybe we could start a poll or something. But yes, let me know. Follow my newsletter and just be awesome, because that's full of like amazing tips and stuff. And you also get a link to like a free like a YouTube live. Like, it's private, but I will be doing lives. Like, at the minute I'm not editing because I'm doing so many courses. And it's just a lot, and my computer's really slow. Like, I nearly bought a tablet yesterday. I was like, this computer is driving me mad. Yeah, okay. But yeah, I really hope you guys got something, and yeah, just let me know. Okay? And if you guys want a one-to-one with me, which is also free, there's a class on Amphi. You just have to find it on my website. So, and that's about rewiring your thoughts as well. And I hope you guys got something from it. But the podcast is very like formal, unprofessional, and just chill and ridiculous and silly and just, yeah. But when it's time to be serious, hells yeah. So please, yeah, thank you so much for listening. And thank you so much for listening. I've been your host, Summer Clarke, and this has been the Crystalline Podcast. Thank you.